Flamingo Land in North Yorkshire originally opened in the 1950s as a zoo. They then started to add more rides and attractions, especially bringing in travelling rides from various different theme parks to Flamingo Land that operated for a number of years. In the mid-2000s, they then started to install some more permanent installations, and as of 2026, they've got some great rides that are permanently installed at the park. They've certainly come a long way since they originally opened as a zoo back in the 50s. In this video, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 favourite rides at Flamingo Land Resorts. There's so many brilliant rides to talk about, so let's get started with number 10 in this list. And we're starting off with a water ride. I thought this has got to make it into the list because I've had some really good fun rides on this over the years, and it is Splash Battle. And I think you all know what this is. It's a Splash Battle ride, manufactured by Preston and Barbary, this one. So yeah, it's not a Max Splash Battle, it's a different manufacturer, opened in 2007. Now with this ride, instead of it being running on a trough underwater, like Battle Galleons, for example, at Alton Towers, it actually runs on a track. So it's a bit like a tracked car ride, but then it's like above the water. So it's very cool how it's designed. I think the ones look better where they're in the trough and it's all hidden away. But it is from a different manufacturer, Preston and Barbary. And you know what? It is a good fun ride. Some good theming around. It's very colourful in this area. Lots of yellows and reds, and the colour scheme of this is great, and lots to look at. It's got like this big volcano that erupts every so often, and it's got all the different areas around the ride to absolutely soak you. So I've had some really good funny rides on over there over the years, especially in the summer months. You can get absolutely dripping wet on there, and yeah, at the time never really done a Splash Battle quite like it, and so it's really nice how they put that in a little bit different a year before Battle Galleons opened in 2008 at Alton Towers as well. So yeah, I do like how they went for that, and yeah, it's quite good fun. Yeah, I do love a good Splash Battle. In ninth place then, we've got our first roller coaster in the list, and that is Twistosaurus. So this is Zamperla Twister coaster that opened in 2013, and it is a spinning roller coaster. Right, with this ride, you look at it and think, oh, you know what? It's just a little kid's spinning coaster. It's not going to do much. Trust me, I've had some incredible spins on here. Again, it's all weight distributed. So if you just like sit on one side, two of you, you can get this spinning like mad. It also goes round like a few times. So as you're getting around the layout, it really just builds up the speed. And it's just so funny. Again, it's another one where I've had so many laughs on there over the years. You can see it in the vlogs on the channel. Don't underestimate Twistosaurus, that's all I'm saying. It's one of them because it's not a controlled spin, it's free flowing, so it just does what it wants basically. But it's really weird because the profiling on there isn't the best either. You know, so you're going around some of these turns and stuff, it's quite janky, quite jolty, but you get some really good spins. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It is a spinning coaster after all. It's located in the dinosaur themed area. It's got a tiny amount of theming around it, not really that much, but yeah, it's got to be done. So if you're walking past this ride, don't just think it's a little junior coaster. Go and get on there. Trust me, you're going to have a really good laugh on Twistosaurus. In 8th place now, we've got the park's only dark ride. This is Mischief Mansion. Now, this is manufactured by WGH Transportation and opened in 2001. It was a replacement for their former Ghost Train. Don't really remember anything about that other than I'm pretty sure it was featured in an episode of Chuckle Vision with the Chuckle Brothers. There was a shot of them on the ride and then coming out of the ride as well in a really old episode from what I remember. But Mischief Mansion that's there now is a good fun ride. The soundtrack's very good on there as well. Lots of theming to look at around the ride. It's very old school and it's very kind of UV painted props on this ride. But it is a family attraction. It's not designed to be scary. You've seen all these different monsters throughout the mansion itself and all these different scenes. It's quite funny because they've got like all the audio equipment, like the AV equipment that's just like on display there. They haven't like hidden it away, which I always find quite funny. It's in one of the scenes to make it look like, you know, it's part of the theming, but really that's like all the AV and stuff for the ride, which is quite funny. As you're going round, you know, you're in these like little tubs, so to speak, that turn. So you're going round, you know, you can get to see all the different props and things as you're heading throughout the ride. It's quite long. It's just quite a funny experience, you know, because you can tell it's very old school. It probably could do with updating, but I know a lot of people have got that nostalgia with it as well, so they're probably quite happy that it has stayed like it is, very old school dark ride. But no, it's good fun. Soundtrack's great on there as well, and that is Mischief Mansion, yeah, 2001, and built by WGH as well, so they're quite a rare manufacturer at the time. Obviously no longer exists, so they didn't really do that much. So yeah, it's always good when you find out and ride one of their creations here in the UK. Okay then, into 7th place. This has got a bit of an unknown future at the park. This is Flip Flop. So this is a Fabry Frisbee ride that opened back in 2008. Outward facing gyro swing basically, but yeah, from Fabry, not from Intamin or Zamperla. I really like this ride. It actually used to have a lot more seats than it does now. It used to be like a full disc and then they split it into different ones. I presume that was because of weight distribution and reliability. Maybe the motor couldn't quite handle all the weight. So it got redesigned and then it spent quite a bit of time closed. Apparently it is going to be coming back in the future, but we'll see what happens. As I'm filming this, it's still standing at the moment. Hopefully it's going to open again, but it might end up getting removed as well. We'll see what happens, but I thought I'll put it in the list anyway because at the time of recording this, it's still standing and they've got an intention, I believe, to reopen this ride. Whether they do or not, we'll see. Flamingo Land just kind of, do what they want to do. Look at the Lost River ride. That's been closed for a few years now. They've been taking ages with what they were doing on there, so Fabry built some good flat rides, and yeah, this flat is great, especially with it outward facing. You get a good cycle on here as well, over the water. Back when it first opened, I remember it used to look pretty spectacular, this area. You used to have the water effects coming out, the ponds were full at the sides. Over the years, that has deteriorated and looks very tired, much like quite a lot of the park now, sadly. But yeah, this used to look really, really good, and with its bright yellow colour scheme as well. The little roof that's over it, I've always found that quite fascinating. Now it's got like a little roof over part of the structure as well, and then obviously it went through that redesign at some point in its history as well. It's got an unknown future. Will we ever get to ride it again or not? Who knows? Fingers crossed we do, but I thought I'd include it in this list anyway because yeah, it's still standing and I've had some brilliant rides on it over the years. As much as I feel like it used to be better back in the day, still a good enjoyable ride experience. Right then, we're down into 6th place then now, and this is another flat ride. This one's a pretty tall one. It's Pterodactyl, 150 foot tall this. It's a Starflyer attraction built by Zamperla. I think this is one of the most thrilling rides in the park, and if you don't like heights, probably the scariest ride in the park because this Starflyer is very, very open and it spins around very fast at the top. It's very much a thrill ride. Starflyers, normally I'd class them as family rides, even like some of these massive like 300 foot ones and stuff. They don't really spin that much. This really gets you going. Like you can get very dizzy as you're spinning round, and I think the big difference with this one is the mechanics behind it. So with this designed by Zamperla, it's actually the whole tower that rotates around. The whole tower spins and all the motor and everything's down at the bottom. How a Starflyer would normally work is it would like kind of lift up and down, and that would be part of the system. This obviously does to load up and go back up, but the actual whole tower turns as well, instead of just the top section spinning on the tower and that remaining static, if that makes sense. So that's what makes this very different, but also much more thrilling than what you'd expect from other rides of this type as well. So I think Pterodactyl's excellent. It opened in 2012. You get brilliant views looking out over the park, but the fact you've got the animals next door really makes it as well. Like you're swinging over and I'm looking down seeing like the animals and stuff. I'm thinking like this is just brilliant. Really open, you're really exposed on that ride as you're spinning round, and yeah, you can really feel that 150 foot height when you're on there. The fact it's just the chains and just a little seatbelt coming across as well, I know it gets a lot of people, and yeah, I do really enjoy that aspect of the ride. We're into 5th place then now, and this is Cliffhanger. So this is a lighthouse themed S&S shot and drop tower. It's been operating since 2002. During its initial year, the whole tower looked like a lighthouse. I remember at the time, they had some issues with the locals and they were like, oh no, you're going to have to, it looks out of place having a lighthouse here. So they had to take most of the theming out the middle, and that's why only the bottom part looks like a lighthouse now. But it is so good, this ride, especially because it's a shot and drop tower. Now, they don't always run it as a combo tower, but when they do, it's a brilliant experience. 177 foot tall. So you've got an extra 27 feet on Pterodactyl, and it's so high up there. The park's in a really nice location as well. It's surrounded by all the countryside, all the fields, so you get some good views from up at the top. But what makes it is when it's running as a combo tower, because that means you get your initial launch up, which is very forceful. You get some good air time at the top. You then bounce back down, go up again, and then it takes you all the way to the top and then launches you down. It pushes you down with the pressure. And when it's running as a combo tower, genuinely, it's one of my favourite tower rides that we've got here in the UK at Flamingo Land. I do think that is an excellent ride. Obviously, it doesn't always run as a combo. I don't know why, because they should do, because it really makes the experience. I think even when it's got a big queue, people would rather wait for a full experience combo tower than have like a shorter ride experience. I would anyway. I'd rather wait an extra 10 minutes on the queue and have like double the ride, because I think it makes a lot more sense. You got to think a lot of the time with a ride, it's the loading, it's the checking the harnesses, it's the dispatch that takes the time. So adding that extra bit of ride cycle, I don't think affects the throughput that much, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's a very enjoyable ride, Cliffhanger. Had to be in here at the halfway point in my list. Right, let's move into fourth place then now. It's another roller coaster. It's a launch coaster. It's Velocity. Hey, I really enjoy this Vekoma motorbike coaster that's been operating since 2005. So yeah, for over 20 years now. Where's time gone? It's got a 54 miles an hour hydraulic launch. And yeah, Vekoma did a great job with this hydraulic launch. At the time, it was Intamin that were kind of pioneering it, but then Vekoma were coming in as well, saying we're going to do this. And yeah, the launch technology on this is very good. Catapult launch with the cable. And it sounds good as well. Like when it launches, you really get that sound of it. The riding position is what makes this very unique. You are sat on a motorbike. The original one of these opened at Toverland just prior to this in the Netherlands. And yeah, what they did, brought one of these to the UK. Very unique ride. What I always appreciate with Flamingo Land is they do like, or at least did back then, thinking out the box. They thought, what have other parks in the UK not got? Let's buy one of these, let's bring one over. No other park had got a motorbike launch coaster in the UK. They were pretty much a new thing, so they brought one over, and I really do appreciate that. The launch is excellent at that top speed of 54 miles an hour. And then after that, it's lots of big turnarounds and corners, which are great. You've got a little airtime moment near the end as well, but it's more about that riding position and the launch, especially going at that speed, lean forward on the motorbike coaster. I really like that. I know some people might find it a bit uncomfortable, but I think that's really good, and that is the USP for this ride. That is the selling point. That's what people love about it, and yeah, that's what I certainly enjoy about Velocity as well. Okay then, we're down into the top three now, my final three out of my top 10 rides at Flamingo Land in North Yorkshire. And this one is the Vekoma SLC, suspended looping coaster, Kumali. Now, I'm not normally a massive fan of SLCs, but this is definitely the best one we've got here in the UK. I really like this. It's a completely custom layout as well. There's only one other of these out there actually that they've got, but I do like the fact that it's a custom layout. It's not just like the standard SLC layout that we've got like in Fusion at Pleasure Beach, where there's so many of them all around the world. Yeah, I do like that. It opened in 2006, and it's got a brilliant first drop. So you head up the lift hill, and then down to the right, 111-foot drop, which is awesome. You really do feel the speed at the bottom, and you kind of bank round to the right hand side before heading up into that first inversion on there, which is awesome. I do really like that. You go round into the loop, followed by the Cobra Roll. Yeah, you've got 4 inversions in total on that ride. There's a 0G on there as well, which is brilliant. But the layout of the ride's good. It's quite short, but it's got a lot of elements packed in. And again, it's the theming for this. It's got like the big Kumali entrance sign. The station's well themed. It's got a really good soundtrack as well. The song's like Kumali, and you just want to join in and sing along. I won't do that again, don't worry. But yeah, I do like how it's got that. And they did a good job with it, kind of making it fit with the old kind of African savanna animal theme of the park. And back then, they were kind of going down the Animal Kingdom route. I loved the route that Flamingo Land were going down. I feel like that should have definitely been where they should have stayed focused. They then, they ended up coming away from it a little bit, but I really like that whole kind of African savanna theme. I think it really fit with Flamingo Land. I'd like to see them go back with that in the future, and it's like with the Lost River ride, that all came in and fit with it so well as well. And then they're kind of going away from that now with some of the changes. I thought that was a big unique selling point of Flamingo Land, I really do, and I'm quite sad they are going away from that. But still, Kumali is there. It's a great ride, and always enjoy getting on it. It looks the part with the theming as well, and just the overall kind of African savanna vibes of it. It's also pretty smooth when it comes to an SLC. Some of the SLCs are very uncomfortable. They're not great rides, whereas Kumali genuinely is a good ride. Again, you need to kind of keep your head forward. The restraints are big and bulky, but I do think it's a great ride, and it's always enjoyable getting back on there, especially the front row and looking down that drop, because it's absolutely massive. Right then, we're into the second place now, and this is Mumbo Jumbo, an S&S Al Loco, and this actually opened with the steepest drop out of any roller coaster anywhere in the world. That's the thing, Flamingo Land, we're really pushing the boundaries. Like, they put in coasters every few years, really push the boundaries here. 112 degrees beyond vertical drop at the start of this Al Loco, and again, we haven't got one in the UK. We still haven't now, other than this, so it's a unique ride for the park. I just really like how they were putting in some really unique stuff what other parks weren't doing. And yeah, the drop on this is very steep. It's trimmed as it comes down, but you can't really feel it that much. Like, it's very steep. It's awesome when you come down. And still to this day, it's one of the steepest drops out there. It might not be the steepest now, but it's still one of the steepest drops out there on a coaster. Following on from that, you get some really good kind of outward banks and turns. There's a really nice drop where you go down into an inversion. There's 2 inversions total on Mumbo Jumbo. And the best thing about this ride is it's very smooth. I also find it comfortable. I know some people don't because of the restraints. Basically how the L Locos work, you've got a lap bar that comes across, and then you've got 2 like shoulder restraints as well that come down. The key is when you're pulling them down is make sure that they're not too tight on you, so you've still got room to breathe, and then they won't really lock and get tighter throughout the ride. They'll just stay in that position as they are when you're loading up in the station. But no, I really like Mumbo Jumbo. Again, it's got some good theming. It's got a nice rockwork entrance which matches Kumali, and just the look of it, it's a very compact ride, but it looks really good in that position at Flamingo Land. We've then got my number 1 ride at the park. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great addition, and this is the newest coaster, and this is of course Sick. It's an intimate multi-inversion coaster featuring 10 inversions. What really makes this ride for me is the fact it's just lap bars on there now. Of course, it is a very similar layout to Colossus at Thorpe Park. However, it's not identical. It has got some different profiling on here. Most notably, the first drop is actually very different. It's a much steeper drop on this than on Colossus, the way it goes into it. The profiling of some of the inversions, it's also very different. And yeah, I just love how comfortable the trains are with the lap bars. When you go into the quad heartline roll at the end, you're just flying out of your seat. So there is a big difference in the ride experience between this and Colossus. In my opinion, this ride's so much better, mainly because of the lap bars. At the end, you are literally flying out. Like, I know some people like to hold on. I find it easier just putting my arms in the air and letting the ride just take me on them final 4 inversions. And of course, you got one the other way just before the brake run. I like how it dips down as well. You've got the mist in the tunnels, and it's a very kind of modern ride, this, with its kind of black and grey silver colour scheme that it's got. It does look the part. Sponsored by Sick Silk as well, like a clothing company. So yeah, they went very different with the theme and look of this and the name, but it's very relevant, isn't it, to like this day and age, you know, calling it Sick. I know a lot of people, probably teenagers and stuff, really like that. For us now, you know, like, oh, you know, what a name. But no, I think to keep it relevant, keep it like with the cool kids, so to speak, they did a good job with that. But the ride experience is great. It's got a cable lift hill as well, so you're right up to the top nice and fast. First drop's excellent. My favourite's definitely them quad heartline rolls where you're just flying out your seats, but in a comfortable way and enjoyable way as well. Well, there we go. That's my top 10 rides at Flamingo Land Resorts in North Yorkshire. I'd love to know yours and your comments in general down below, so drop them down in the comments section. I love reading through all of them. I like keeping these videos as interactive as possible, and I look forward to reading through all of those. Of course, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really does help up the channel, and we appreciate it so much. We really do. Thank you very much for joining me here on Theme Park Worldwide. Make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on if you'd like to be notified when we upload brand new videos, because we've got lots of exciting things planned here in 2026 on our channel. But that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.